powerful bomb blast in the street of Srinagar has created havoc. 3 civilians and 2 jawans have been critically injured. Shops and business establishments are all closed. Funeral processions and mass gathering has resulted in the complete chaos of the city. Police has claimed that the situation is under control, but there is an amount of great anarchy in the city. Isaac Navi, ITV News, Srinagar.
Today again the news of pain and sorrow from the valley. My mother shedding tears, uttering no words, but exhibits of grief on her gloomy face. How long? And why all this? Will this never end? Will there be no peace? Oh God, how long? How long shall there be the guns roaring? Hue and cry around. How long? How long shall the women beat their breasts and mourn the deaths of their loved ones? How long? How long shall the jawans face the bullets of the boys with no reason? How long? What led us to leave the paradise and live in an alien culture in Delhi? What made my family move from their ancestral place where their forefathers lived for centuries with a unique sensibility, with a different cultural milieu? These questions and others do always haunt my imagination. It was a statement that changed the course of life of my family. Your father, a political figure, had advised the gun-bearing boys to abandon this culture of death and bullet and join the mainstream, said my mother. Was this the reason that led us to leave our motherland? I can't believe that. Oh my God. Why so? But now it seems all the same as it used to be before. Me and my family left the valley far behind us. Left the greens, left the plains, left the changing seasons back, left the falling chinar leaves dying, left the hue, left the hub, left the beauty far behind. Crossing the Jawahar Tunnel, sitting on the back seat of JK SRTC bus that we boarded from SRTC bus stand, my mother looked back once. She couldn't stop the flow of tears from her eyes. Obviously, how could she? How could she? How could she leave her memories free? She doesn't know where she is going. An ignorant Kashmiri lady who doesn't know the world around except her husband and her children. Knowing not the consequences of leaving her veil, she moved forward. We reached Delhi. It was totally a new world for us. It took us a lot of time to adapt to the new environment of the capital. I got admitted in 6th class in Jamia. In an Islamic but advanced culture than of mine, I started growing. I was becoming more a Delhiite. But in hot summers, I used to miss the cool breeze of Glen. In harsh sun, I used to miss the shadows of Chinar. I used to miss the running water streams. I used to miss the Dal Lake while boating in the Purana Killa pond of New Delhi. We were growing with time. Everything was changing. But for one thing, I appreciate my mother. She always kept me and my brother somewhere in the Vale by the stories of her childhood she had lived there. She never forgot anything. So did I. But my brother only remained a Delhiite. Maybe because he never got the opportunity to know the essence of the valley. He never got the chance to see the open sky. He never saw the high mountains covered with white snow. He never saw the snow falling. He never swam in the fresh waters of world-famous Dal Lake. He never bathed in the rivers. He never sat on the bank of Jhelum. He never smelled the fragrance of the flowers. He never heard the birds sing. He never ran after the swans and ducks. Maybe that's why he remained far, far from the valley. Far as we to sun, far as God to none. I completed my graduation, did my masters, got a job in a reputed national newspaper as a photographer. The beauty and the bounty of the vale was still to be captured by my camera. So one day, I decided to go back to Kashmir. My mother was more excited to know that I was going than I was. But she was worried as well. She knew I was going to a place which has now become hell from heaven. Kashmiri migrants who left their homes in last 16 years used to tell us their stories of pain and misery. We used to cry with them, but at the same time when someone used to name Kashmir, a smile of satisfaction used to pass by our lips. A wish and a hope of returning back home used to fall from our eyes. March 15, 2006 was the decided day to move to the valley. I decided to take bus from Jammu onwards. I took the JKSRTC bus, again the backseat. Thinking of Kashmir, thinking of the songs of Amor by the young girls in the shikaras, thinking of the roof of the girls in the month of Ramadan, the crescent of Eid, the dawn and the dusk, the prayers and the azan, thinking of the roads and naats. Thinking of the bells of temples and gurbanis in the gurdwaras. All the time passed and we reached Panihal at about 6:45 in the evening. As soon as we crossed the Jawahar Tunnel, entered the valley, I found it same as it was when we had left. The same high mountains touching the sky, the open sky full of birds flying around, the depth and the height, the beauty so bright. It was same as I had thought. Once again I was caught by the memories of my childhood. My mother had asked me to go to the place where we used to live, where she had spent the most important phase of her life. She had asked me to meet the people who once were part of our family. Some my parents' friends, some our neighbors. I also wanted to meet those with whom I had spent the early 12 years of my childhood. I don't know how they look now, where they are, but I'm sure I can recognize if I see them. I reached Srinagar at about 8:30 in the night. I went to a hotel on Boulevard Road where my office had arranged accommodation for me. As I looked out of the window of my room the next day morning, I saw a heart-touching scene. I took my camera, went out, clicked the scene around, and returned back to my room. I decided to go to my hometown today, Karanagar. I reached there. It's no more the same as it used to be. All new constructions, new roads, new people. Somehow I managed and reached the place of my buried dreams. Broken wall, a broken window, an open door, an empty space. I had just stepped forward to enter. Abruptly, "Nobody lives there," I heard from my back. An old woman of about my mother's age asking me, "Who are you?" I said I was Ghazala, Ghulam Qadir's daughter. Without any other thought, she hugged me, crying and saying, "My dear, where have you been? Where is my friend?" She took me to her house. They had built a new house. Her husband kissed my forehead as soon as she introduced me as Ghulam Qadir's daughter. I met her children, who were the part of my childhood that I had spent there. They made me sit, have food, tea, and whatnot. Recalling the memories they told me, many died, many left, and many stood as well. I came to know that militancy had destroyed many in past 16 years. Some became militants and some victims to militancy. Only a few survived. While talking, hours had gone. All were happy to see me, but I was sad. Sad to know about the miseries and plight that they had gone through. Sometimes I feel guilty, sometimes lucky. Guilty 'cause we left, lucky 'cause we survived.